What's the deal, y'all? This is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another episode of One on One, y'all. And we're here to talk to a person that you may have seen on Chasing Reality. Basically Chasing Atlanta. We've seen him, talk to Dominique and Troy and many other people on their particular platform. Now he has his own show, and today we're going to see things and hear things from a therapist perspective. Make sure you guys show your love for Twan Dixon. What's going on?
Hello, Scotty.
How are you? How are you? How are you?
I am doing good. Busy as always, but I'm good. How are you?
The same. The same.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I'm coming or going some days, but the same.
Listen, like when I get done with you, I got like paperwork I got to do, because life is always going. So I got to do this paperwork turned in, got to send off invoices to insurance companies and just all types of stuff.
Oh, trust me, I understand, because when I get through with this, I got to do a whole nother, got to do a live with a group of 2 or 3 other people. So trust me, I understand.
I got you.
There's a lot going on as well. Okay.
Right.
So we're here to talk about your show. We're here to talk about you as a therapist and, a host of other things. So we're going to start it off with you as a therapist, and how did you get into the career of being a therapist? So what made you want to do that?
Absolutely. So for me, I initially went to college to major in nursing. Like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in the medical field. I was raised by my grandmother, so of course I talk a lot about her in the first episode, and she was a nurse, so she, really inspired me. It was more so, even though I wanted to be like in the medical field, I was also like kind of seeing the dollar sign. I was like, okay, I can make some money doing this. But like I mentioned in the first episode, I don't even like bodily fluids. So on my 21st birthday, I think it was like 2008, on my 21st birthday many years ago, I changed my major from nursing to psychology. And my family was just like, oh my God, what are you going to do with that? You're not going to, they was like, really, they saw the negative instead of the positive.
Of course.
Clearly, see where I'm at today. That was a great decision. So I changed my major to psychology. Then I knew I needed to get a master's degree because, like, for real, I needed to get a master's degree. And I just really explored my options, talked to different, professors and things on the campus at the school that I was going to, and they connected me with the counseling department. And it really piqued my interest, and it really piqued my interest in the aspect of still helping people. And so got into the counseling program. I was the only male that was admitted into the counseling program in 2010. So that was like 15 years ago. So, and I went through my entire counseling program, my master's program, with all women. Like I was the only male throughout the program. I think it may have been 1 or 2 males that popped up every now and then, but but as far as like really going through the program, I went through the program with all women. And so that like the number of males in this field is very small. And everything is just history from there. I went on and got another degree, got my specialist degree in counseling, mental health counseling. And all of those different avenues started to open the door to me being here today. So yes, but I always knew I was going to help people in some capacity.
Well, you know what's so crazy, and I know this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but whenever I talk to people about like when they went to college and stuff like that, I always hear how people change their major, because I know I kind of did the same thing when I went. Of course, I ain't finished, but when I went to college, I wanted to be an English teacher. But that's because I love to write. So I wanted to be an English teacher for like a middle school English teacher. But then I changed my mind. And I guess you could say, I really didn't change it too far, but I went, instead of like going to college for like education or something like that, I chose to go for mass comm and journalism. That's what I went for.
Yeah.
So, it's like it's funny how we want to do one thing and then we change our mind because I just knew I was gonna be an English teacher.
But then it also comes back full circle because look at you, you got a book coming out in
That
what,
is
2 months? So
Yeah.
it still comes back full circle. No matter we never know the step by step road that we have to take. We just know we're going to get there eventually. And it may not look like how we traditionally see it, but it looks like how, I don't know your spiritual beliefs or anything, but it looks like how God wants us to be.
Yeah.
So, hey, you're still doing it. You are still
Yeah.
doing it. And I'm proud of you because I can't wait to September 23rd.
Yeah.
Listen, I got it saved in my phone. I got to order Scotty book.
Listen, I can't wait either. Like okay, I don't want to get into that because this ain't got nothing to do with me. This is about you. But yeah, so okay, so you changed your major and then you got into it. So do do you remember your very first session with somebody? Do you remember that?
I do. I actually do. And it was horrible. It was horrible. It
Why
was
was it
so
horrible?
bad. It was bad. And we actually had to record the session. So I actually have it like on a cassette somewhere in my house. It was horrible. And because I do teach and train up and coming counselors, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, your first session with people, it's gonna be horrible. And I'll never forget my professor said to me, and I love her. She and I are good friends to this day. Her name is Dr. Melanie Wallace. She's a little bitty tiny lady. And she
Mm-hmm.
said to me, she said, you should dig your own grave and just lay in it and figure your way out. And I was like, oh, did this bitch just really tell me to die? And so, but it was, once I, really understood where she was coming from. She was basically telling me just like really just build my own house with things, build my own house with just kind of the career that I wanted. But it was horrible. My very first session was horrible. My very first treatment plan I wrote for a client was horrible. But you want to start somewhere so you can see how to develop and how to grow. So yes, I do remember my very first session with a client, and like I said, it was bad. It was bad.
So as a therapist, I know that's your title as a therapist. That's what you do. That's your job. That's your way of living. I always be wondering, how does a therapist deal with their own issues while trying to deal with everybody else's issues, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about that, because I always wonder, like, how okay, I know they're therapists, but they're human like everybody else, and I know they
Mhm.
have their own issues. So how are you able to maneuver through your own stuff while you're trying to help somebody else get through their stuff? Like, how does that
Absolutely.
go?
Yeah, so I go to therapy. I go to
Oh,
therapy
okay.
myself, and I bring that up on the show. Of course, if you go back and watch episode 2, I was
Mhm.
in the first scene. I was talking to my best friend, just kind of about some things that me and my therapist have been working on. So I definitely see my therapist on a regular basis. I am very fortunate that I receive my therapy for free because I am a disabled military veteran.
Okay.
I definitely take advantage of going to therapy. I actually have a therapy appointment this Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So I go to therapy. My therapist, she looks just like me. She's a Black lady. And so it's just so important. So I always tell clients, like I only see clients Monday through Thursday. And my clients, they always say, oh my God, you never do Friday sessions. I don't, because that's literally my day for my self-care every week. That's my day for therapy twice a month. That's my day to take care of me. Because one thing about being a therapist, you 99 to 100% chance you're going to get a client or multiple clients throughout your career, and they're going to have a very similar experience to something you've gone through. And
Mhm.
it may trigger you, it may wake up some old wounds. And that's why it's so important for us as therapists to be in therapy as well. earlier this year, on February the 5th or 6th, whatever it was, it was a week after. It was a week after all the planes had first started falling out the sky, and I
Yeah,
actually had took a flight to Ohio. Thank God I'm still here. But I
right.
took a flight to Ohio, and when I got off that plane, a friend of mine, who is a therapist, and you will actually see her. You'll actually see her in the season finale of my show. Um,
Mhm.
she called me to tell me that her supervisor had committed suicide. And I knew who her supervisor was because he and I had worked together over the years throughout both of our careers. He was a licensed therapist. And so it's like, dang, and my mind went straight to, was he not taking care of himself? Was he not going to therapy? So, yes, it is so important for us as therapists, no matter how many years we've been in the game or whatever, it's so important for us to be in therapy and be in therapy on a regular basis. So yes, Twan goes to therapy because I done been through some stuff in my life.
I have a childhood friend. I almost forgot. I have a childhood friend that's now a therapist as well. And sometimes um we don't talk often,
Mhm.
but when I have talked to her, I have forgotten that she was a therapist. And I was like, and for whatever reason, because she is a therapist, I stopped coming to her with my issues
Mhm.
because I felt
Mhm.
like she already got to deal with other people's issues all day. So she don't need to be dealing with mine. So I just stopped talking to her about my problems.
Thank you, Scotty. You know what? I'm so glad you said that because it's not that we don't want to be a listening ear for our friends, but we have to have some boundaries with that as well. So,
Hmm.
like I'm on Central Time, so my last session ends at about 5:45, 6 o'clock. When my last session ends, if anybody's calling me, I'm not answering the phone. I do not answer this phone at least for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, or you may not hear from me till the next day. You can text me, but as far as calling me and having me sit on the phone, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk to you because I see about 6 clients a day. That's 6 different issues. And on my lunch break, I'm in the gym trying to work out, but we hear so much, we take on so much, and so we need to de-stress. And so for me, my house is completely silent. My house is completely silent. So, for me to be able to be sitting here in front of you today, I literally had to work a half a day, which made it easy for me. Because if we would have did this after a session, I wouldn't have this much energy. So, but yes, it's so important for us not to be our friends' therapist. And my friends will tell you, I'll tell them in a minute, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Go figure it out. Here's a resource. I just don't want to hear because we take on so much. And so a lot of my friends, they understand it. Some of them are still getting used to it. They know when I give them that RBF look, they know I ain't got time to hear it. But
Yeah.
we're here for our friends, but we also want our friends to respect the fact that, hey, I done had a long day dealing with depression, anxiety, stress, workplace issues, just all types of stuff, family issues, grief, all types of stuff that people are coming to us with because the issues are all different. They're never the same. And so we have to be able to navigate between all of those issues throughout a whole day.
Yeah, because at first, I thought maybe I was like, maybe I'm reading too much into this because,
Mhm.
that's her job. In the same breath, I'm like, nah, because I know if I was in her shoes and I was a therapist, I don't want to hear all that bullshit all damn day. Like I'm already listening to other people's shit. Then you
Mhm.
want to call me with as irritable as I can be real quick. And if I'm having a day and I don't really want to hear your bullshit, I know I won't want to hear. So that's why I was like, she already hears everybody else's shit. So
Listen,
I don't think she want to hear mine.
when we were filming for my show, I was coming back from Orlando. So of course, Chef Pablo from Chasing Orlando, you will see him on my show. I was coming back from Orlando, and so my one of my longtime friends, he's like a brother to me. He always takes me to the airport and picks me up from the airport and all that stuff. So he was picking me up, and soon as he got out the truck to put my suitcase in the trunk, he was just like, "Bro, I got to tell you." I said, "Hey, I don't want to hear this shit today. And the people that were still waiting on their rides, they just bust out laughing. That's literally how loud I was. And I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I deal with a lot with this guy. And so, and I had to tell him, I don't want to hear about whatever you and your wife got going on. I just got done filming in Orlando. I'm tired. I don't want to hear it. And so we have to set those boundaries with our friends, even our family as well.
It's so crazy that you said that.
Yeah. we might need to have a side conversation there, Scotty.
You know what's crazy is that I am now, God, I hate this. Sometimes I'm excited about saying it, and then some days I'll be like, oh. But right now, I'm actually filming a web reality show myself right now.
Yeah.
And I was telling the person that's over, because it's ensemble cast, but I was telling the person because I wanted to talk about a lot of the stuff that I've been dealing with. And I actually mentioned your name. I said, I don't know any therapists out here. The only person that I've ever seen on the show was Twan. So maybe I need to holler at him about a session or two or something, because I need them at this moment in time.
Listen, I had heard you was out here filming a show. Listen, stuff comes to me and it be in one ear and out the other. I just be telling folks I don't know nothing about it. As long as I still got my job where I'm at, I'm fine.
No, they can run their damn mouth.
People be running their mouth. They do. That's why look, when we were filming my show, I'm like, and Dario, we better keep this show under the wraps. Like, when we don't want folks to know nothing.
See, the only reason why I even be discussing the fact that I'm on one is because they want me to, because it's a new show, so they want some attention to it, so they want me to bring it up from time to time, but don't bring up too much, but just say you doing a show, and that's fine. I'll do that. I get why they want me to do it, but it'd be like, I'm not. It's like I'm excited about it, but then it's like,
yeah. But you know what? I've always wondered when you were going to like cross over to that side.
You know, the first week I moved here, I was asked to do one.
Yes.
The first week I got here.
You know, that's when the rumors started going around that you were on Chasing Atlanta season 7. That's when the rumors started, and people asked me. I said, I don't even know.
I am not on that show.
I got to make sure my job as a therapist is still secured.
And it wasn't even Chasing that asked me to do something. It was a whole nother show. Like somebody reached out to me like the first. I probably was only here maybe 2 days, and somebody DM'd me and they asked me would I be willing to do, and at first I'm like, no. Yeah. I kept on saying no, but then Dominique kind of convinced me to try it out. Well, I'm just like,
shout out to Dominique. Dominique gonna put people in places. Dominique is a visionary. He is a visionary. Dominique can see something and he'll be like, oh, you should try this. Like, he is such a visionary. And people don't sleep on my brother, because that one there is a visionary. He has an eye. He can see talent. He really can. He is a producer. Like,
he is. He can see stuff that some of us don't see, because I was basically saying I don't think I'll be able to do it, because people gonna think I'm boring and stuff, because I don't really be with the bullshit. Now, you got to push me in order to be with the bullshit.
Yes.
So he was like, that's the main reason why you do it. Go ahead and do it, Scotty. Go ahead.
Yes, Dominique really can. When I was when there was discussions, when there was preliminary discussions about me hosting the Chasing Orlando reunion, Dominique was just like, oh yes, go ahead and do it, blah blah. Dominique had already been throwing my name around for
that but you did a good job though, because when I first heard about you doing it, I think Jamar had told me you was doing it, and then I'm like, I think that'd be a good idea for him. I think you should do that. Even though you were saying my name, but
I was saying look, it was just for a minute, because I told you we were at brunch.
Yes,
I said, well, Scotty, you need some.
Yeah, you were saying my name, but I was just like, I think he should. And then when I found out you had a show, Because
Yeah.
I think Jamar had told me something like that. Either
Yeah.
he told me or I seen it. Something happened. But you
Yeah.
had a show. I said this is gonna be good. This is different from Chasing Atlanta and all the other stuff that they got on there. This is something different, and I think that'll be good for him and that'll be good
Yeah.
for us because we like the bullshit,
Mhm.
all that, but you do need a bit of a balance. So I was very
Yeah.
excited, and that brings us to this. Now, what started your show? How did the idea come about?
Listen, Andario, that is an
Yeah.
Andario question now. I would tell you so. This is how I remember it. Last year in July, when my best friend DeAndre had passed away, and Dario and I we were having conversations, and
Mm-hmm.
we had several conversations, and so I had, and this was before it was announced that Atlanta was coming back. This, and I think Orlando was still filming their first season,
Oh, so this
and
was
so
early on.
yes, this was very early on, and matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a little tea because and Dario had asked me. He said, he just asked my opinion on like who do I think should come back for the new season of Atlanta, and I gave him three names. I know two of them names is on that show. So, but the third name, they didn't come back this season, but I know they would have been back if they could have.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him three names, and Dario said, "I think we need to start working on your show." And I was like, "What show?" I said, "No," and Dario, I said, "Let me just pop in and out on Atlanta like I've been doing. Let me just kind of be like Shawnee O'Neal mixed with Dr. Jackie." I was like,
Be
let me,
Dr. Jackie, don't be Shawnee.
oh, Shawnee's sneaky. So
That's
yeah,
why I said don't be Shawnee, because I can't
yeah.
stand Shawnee. Don't do yourself like that.
But you know how she pops in. I just wanted to pop in.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but just add my Dr. Jackie flair to it, and Dario was like, "No, I think we should really work on your show." And I said, "And Dario, what we gonna talk about? Like what we gonna do?" I'm like, I live in Birmingham. I be chilling. I be minding my own business. I've been friends with the same people since before I was 10 years old. Like, what we gonna do it like, and so we had several conversations, and so I remember telling him in one of the conversations that if we do this show, I don't want it to be like that other show that we have seen over the years on major television networks.
Mm-hmm.
um I said I want to add my life to the show. I want people to see my life and whatever I may be going through when the cameras start rolling. Like whatever's going on in my life in that time, I'm okay with showing that,
Right.
because I want people to see that even as therapists, we're not perfect. We're not robots. We go through real life stuff. We have emotions. We have feelings. We deal with mental health issues ourselves. So I was like, I want people to see me in my element, but I also want people to see me for me outside of what you have seen on Chasing Atlanta, outside of what you saw at the Chasing Orlando reunion, outside of anything I ever done. I want people to really get a glimpse into my life as well. And so that's pretty much how it all came about. And, one of the main reasons why I did not want my show to emulate the other helping people type shows is because I actually, in real life, I actually have clients that see me for therapy that were actually on that other show. And they were traumatized. They were traumatized by the person that was supposed to be helping them,
Mm-hmm.
because that person is not a licensed therapist. I mean, I think she's a life coach, but they were traumatized and their issues never got fixed or anything of that nature. They was just there. They got a check. It is what it is. But they actually are. I have several people that are actually in therapy with me today that still have to relive that trauma because that show is in syndication. It still comes on. Those episodes still air. So, so I didn't want this show to emulate that. I wanted this show to definitely show like, hey, this is people's real reality. Nothing manufactured. My life isn't manufactured. Their lives aren't. And so, we said we're just gonna go for it, and we're gonna make magic. And that was the phrase that me and Dario always use whenever we film was we're making magic. And so I think we created a very good show, and I'm glad people are receiving it well.
Yeah, it's a different kind of show for the web reality world because we all see the same thing. We get a bunch of gays together, we fight, argue, cuss each other out, start mess, throw shit out in each other's faces, expose each other, all that stuff. I'm not saying I'm doing that on the shit that I'm doing,
but that's what happens.
But yeah, you try it with me, then it's a different story, But however, that's why I thought it was refreshing to see that on Chasing Reality. So I appreciate y'all giving something new to the genre, because we do need something else besides the same thing. We could get because we all love Chasing Atlanta, Chasing LA, Chasing Dallas, Chasing Orlando, all that. But it's also refreshing to see something else for us. Yes. And all that. So because I actually like to see stuff like that. Like I like to, little do people know, when I'm at work, I listen to certain podcasts. Like I can't say that it's in the same genre with the therapy thing. Like I listen to certain podcasts where they talk about, family trauma and stuff like that. And I sit there and listen to that, and I do get triggered listening to that shit because I relate to the shit that they talking about. So it may be days where I may be dealing with issues with my family or something like that, and I go and I listen to that because I don't have a therapist. So I go and listen to that and see what I can find within that. So absolutely. I'm glad that y'all got that type of show.
Absolutely. And even with the show, it does have drama in it, but it's not so heavy. And the drama that you do see, it's drama that you relate to because it's so real. And I tell people that ask me, about the season, of course, stay tuned. But the drama that you will see, it comes from a space of love and care, and this is my real emotion. This is my real feeling. This is my real experience. So, definitely, which episode coming out tomorrow? Episode 3?
Yes, episode 3.
Oh, yeah. Because I think we left off episode 2 with a cliffhanger, and that episode 3 is good. It's nice.
I think the way you and Dario decided to put it together is a great thing, because okay, we see you as a therapist, but we also see you as Twan outside of the therapist type of thing. So that's a good way to put it. Like we see, you as a human being versus the therapist. So we see both sides of you. So I think that's a good thing, the way that y'all put it together.
Absolutely.
With this being the first season, do you see yourself doing another season of it?
Yes, I honestly would love to do another season. Fingers crossed. I definitely have some ideas for the next season. I actually have some ideas for the next season that I want to present to Dario. I think he's interested in doing another season. So I definitely, I would love to do another season. I would definitely love to do it. Like I said, I got some ideas that I want to present. And there are some things going on. There are some things going on that the cameras probably need to go back up now and catch.
That means there's a lot going on then.
It is a lot going on, and it's only been 2 episodes, and I'm just like, oh well, it's out
there. Yeah, like I said, it's good to see a show like this in
Yeah.
this realm because we don't see stuff like this all the time. So
Right.
I just want to say that I appreciate you and Dario for coming with
Yeah.
that because like I think I told and Dario when we was at Dominique's birthday party.
Yeah.
I was at Dominique's birthday party with them and stuff and Dario was talking about your show.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I think you did, I think you made the right call by adding that to your roster. Cause I said
Mhm.
it gives more of a balance, you
Yes.
know, just like the group chat gave him more of a balance.
Mhm.
It was something different than what they normally do. I said, this is, you know, cause you know, Chase Reality is like a network at this point. So you want
Yes,
to
they are.
give it a variety of things. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So you have a panel show, then you got this. So you
Mhm.
know, I say you rock out with it. And plus I think that you are a cool person. Like I've been around you, I think maybe once or twice, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But you know, I work off of vibes
Yes.
and
Yes.
you are a good vibe to me. So I don't have nothing but positive things to say. Cause you know, with
Yes.
me, I'm telling you right now, with me, if I don't get no good vibe from your ass, I'd be like
Listen, I'm the same way. If I don't get no good vibe, something's wrong. When's your birthday?
February the 12th, I'm in Aquarius.
Okay, okay, yeah. If I don't get no good vibe, I'm just like I'm good. We good over here. Like no shade, but even just when I've been on 3 seasons of Chasing Atlanta, and there have been people that have wanted to film with me, and I have gone to it and Dargo was like, I ain't filming with them.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's like for me, and it's just us having a conversation now before we end it. But it's like for me, I think people get me misunderstood when they first meet me
Mm-hmm.
because for example, I met TTB in person recently when he was here.
Okay.
And I had to tell him you don't really know me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to feel you out because it's one thing to see you and talk to you over a camera and a mic, but
Mm-hmm.
when I'm around you, I may seem a little awkward or I may seem a little standoffish, but that's because I'm trying to feel you out
Mm-hmm.
first. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't really know what I'm gonna get because I don't know you like that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to feel you out. And it turned out to be, you know, it turned out to be well, you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't bad. But you
Yeah.
know, I be having to tell people when they first meet me in person that I'm a little observant. So I may be a little quiet, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
little,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, because I don't know. And when if I pick up a bad vibe, I'd be like, I can't do it.
Yeah. He actually came to my premiere party. That was
I
my
know,
first
yeah, he
time.
did.
Yeah, that was my first time meeting him in person. So of course I've never heard him say anything negative about me, but
Yeah.
I've seen his work, his catalog of work. So I'm like,
Yeah.
woo, okay.
I had to use him for an example because
Yeah.
like I've known him for a while now, but I
Mhm.
never met him in person. So
Yeah.
it's different when you meet people in person. And
Hmm.
it's like, you know, even though you can know somebody over the internet, but when you see them in person, it sometimes you may have a different vibe from them. So when I saw him in person, it was just like
Yeah.
I said, you don't know me like that. That's why you feeling some type of way. Like, don't get in your feelings about my
Yeah.
standoffish
Yes.
nature. It's just that I'm trying to feel you out. That's it.
Well,
You
I
know.
will say you didn't do me like that the first time we met. We instantly
I would say I was quiet a little bit at first, but then you know, I'm like, okay, yeah,
yeah,
you know.
we
Yeah,
got it going. It was a good time.
yeah, once I get to going, it's okay. Cause just like I said, even with him, like
Mhm.
it turned out to be a good time
Yeah,
overall. But you know, it starts off a little quiet.
yeah, yeah,
Cause
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
because you know, when you don't trust people like that, it'd be like,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. And
So
trust is a big thing in my book.
it is. It
It is a
is.
big thing, and especially in this web reality world, when you're, especially now, being talent, you have to trust your producers. And I mean, good thing I am one of the producers of my show, but I have to trust that Dario. And he and Dario, if I just take a minute, he has taught me so much. filming this show. He's taught me so much, like behind the scenes and just in front of it just makes it so easy to work with. He has been a phenomenal, and I've known Dario since I stepped on the scene back 5 years ago when we were filming season 4 of Chasing Atlanta. He's just always been a great person. But to spend the amount of time that we have spent together producing and creating this show, I have learned a lot. And you know, I'm way older than Andario, but to be able to be a student and to learn from him in a world that he navigates in very well has been just so phenomenal, because we all have different strengths and we're all great at something. Like I can't do this podcast hosting stuff and all this cute stuff that y'all be doing.
It ain't easy.
Right. But I can do therapy. So everyone has talents and strengths and gifts that, you know, the good Lord above has allowed us to be able to operate and navigate in. And so I just love and adore Dario. Like I said, he has taught me so much. Even when I be having little ideas in my head when we're filming, I'm like, Dario, however I'm going to say it, it's not going to make sense, but just put it together. You'll get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he does that. He does that so well. And so he has been very fun to work with. I can definitely say that.
I can't say like watching web reality is different, but when you in it yourself, it's even more different when you're in it yourself. Because now that I'm in it myself, it'd be like, so this is what they do.
Yes, and you know, I heard Candy Bird say this over the years, that you have to relive it 3 times because you're
that's
filming
the part
it.
I'm not looking for.
Yes, you're filming it, so that's the first life. Then you have to watch it. That's the second life.
Then
there's a reunion. That's the third one. So good thing for me, I just had to relive it twice. Because ain't no
3 times for me. 3 times.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and plus it's like I have my ideas and stuff too, and it's not my show, it's an ensemble, but they are, you be like, oh well, Scotty, if you want to do this, like if you want to do it like this, you can do this, or if you want to do it like that, and I'd be like, okay, fine, you know, we could do it this way, whatever. So I always have a little bit of input on whatever we do, because I already was resistant about doing the show, but once I got in, and I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna be in it, then we got to make a good show.
Absolutely. You know what? It's so interesting that you say that, because, and I remember when we were filming season 6 of Chasing Atlanta. If you go back and watch the season, I popped up a lot. And I remember when we got done filming, when me and Willa got done filming that scene, I remember Andario had asked me when we got done filming. So this is like cameras down and everything. He said, Twan, what do you want to do this season? And I said, oh, okay. And I literally had came up with an idea off the top of my head, because I'm like, okay, that means I guess he wants an answer now. So let me answer the boss man now.
Right.
And so if you go back and watch season 6, I think it may have been episode 8, where I met with all of the trans girls that were on the show. That was my idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. And you know, but it was up to the girls to, work it out into how they was gonna set the scene up. But that was my idea, to bring all the trans girls together, because I remember telling Dario, I know the show, it is catered to our community, but I felt like from a viewer's perspective, that the show was very heavy on the guys and did not really give a lot of attention to the girls, in my opinion. And so I was like, I wanted to do something where it just really shined the light on the girls. And Kiki, is that her name? Used to be on Dallas?
Yeah, that's her name.
I wanted her in the scene, but she wasn't in that. I don't think she was in Atlanta that weekend that we filmed. But we even wanted her in the scene as well. Because I think Dallas had just ended like season 4 or something like that. But so that was one of my ideas that I brought to the show, and it worked out very well. And it was people received that scene very well. And it was also my idea that I even said, if we do this, I want Kendra brought back. And
That was a good idea because like
yeah,
I don't understand a lot about the trans community, and I
right.
openly say that every
Yeah.
time. I
Hmm.
don't understand it. It's not my world.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could if I give opinions, it may come across a little ignorant to
Yeah.
certain people, and I
Uh-huh.
and because I'm more mature to
Hmm.
say so, I'm ignorant to that. So I don't
Yeah.
understand it a lot.
Yeah. And
So
I relate to what you're saying there. And
yeah,
that's why for me, I didn't know a lot at first because I always tell people I'm regular gay, but I've
same.
learned a lot over the years. And so, so we're still learning. Even though we identify as part of the community, we're still learning different aspects as it relates to trans men, trans women,
Right.
people that identify as this and that and this and that, or whatever the case may be. So it's always learning. And even as a therapist, I learn things from my clients that wasn't aware of. And it doesn't mean that I'm an ignorant therapist. It just means that I'm able to hear and receive and understand and go and research more for myself as well. So yeah, so that whole trans scene, and Kendra wasn't on the show, and Daria was like, well, she's not on the show. And I was like, well, bring her back. So,
Right. So
it,
that was a good idea. That kind of helped me understand their
mhm,
experience a little more
mhm,
than I did before.
mhm.
I'm still not fully understanding of it, but I
Right.
understood more with that particular scene. So with that being said, because I gotta do something else.
I know.
No, but this was because I really don't want to end it now, but I know I got to now.
Right.
But anyway, I really appreciate you coming on here,
Yeah.
and maybe we could do something else another time. I'll be
Absolutely.
down with that. So your show, from a therapist perspective, it comes on Thursday nights at 9
9
Eastern.
p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
All
And
right.
the season is heating up. So I got a lot of people that's just like, oh my God, I can't believe it was a cliffhanger. Well, believe it because it happened.
Y'all
So
better watch it because it's good. I'm telling you,
it
it's
is
good.
good. So tell your mothers, your fathers, your great grandparents, your church members, because baby, that's episode 3 going is something for you church people up in there. And so, something to help y'all to stop being mean to folks. And you're supposed to be living like Christ.
There's so much I could say about that, but I'm
Okay.
not. But however, we're out of here, y'all. Until the next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.